The most dangerous creature in the desert. The desert's extreme heat, lack of resources, and intermittent sandstorms make it a potentially hostile environment. Furthermore, there isn't much cover if you come across any of the ferocious desert animals. There are several animals that should be avoided. These are some of the deadliest desert animals that you do not want to mess with, whether they're aggressive, poisonous, venomous, or have mouths full of laser-edged fangs. These are the animals to avoid if you reside in the desert or are planning to travel there. Hello everyone and welcome back to Unveiling Wild. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on the animal planet and on their habitat. With that being said, let's get started. One of the hardest environments on the earth is a desert, where survival is extremely challenging due to extreme heat and water scarcity. Additionally, there is an excessive temperature change, with high heat in the afternoon and extreme cold at night. Due to all of these environmental factors, desert animals have evolved harmful coping techniques. Discover the 10 most dangerous desert animals by reading on. So what made these animals dangerous? And how can one classify them, and what should you do when you face them? Many species can survive in desert environments even though it is challenging. However, some of them can be dangerous if you come into contact with them. Number 1. Sawscaled Wiper. This is a genus of venomous vipers that can be found in the dry areas of Africa, the Middle East, India, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. Its common names include Sawscaled Vipers and carpet vipers. They make a sizzling warning sound by rubbing different parts of their bodies together in a distinctive threat presentation. The Greek term for viper is transliterated as etches in Latin. They are known as saw-scaled vipers, and they include some of the species that account for the majority of snakebite cases and fatalities worldwide. There are presently 12 recognized species. The largest species of saw-scaled vipers, E. leucocgaster and E. pyramidal, are typically under 90 centimeters, which is 35 inches long, and the smallest species, E. hughes and E. jageri, are about 30 centimeters long, which is 12 inches. The head is different from the neck and is short, broad, pear-shaped, and relatively tiny. The body is generally slim and cylindrical. The eyes are rather large and the snout is short and rounded. Most of the dorsal scales are needled. The scales on the lower flanks, however, protrude at a definite 45-degree angle and have a serrated ridge in the center, hence the common name. The subcaudals are solitary, and the tail is brief. Biblical claims may be related to a saw-scaled viper of the genus Etches. This genus's species can be found in Pakistan, India, particularly in the rocky areas of Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab, Sri Lanka, and the Middle East, and Northern Africa. One of the hardest environments on the earth is a desert where survival is extremely challenging due to extreme heat and water scarcity. Additionally, there is an excessive temperature change, with high heat in the afternoon and extreme cold at night. Due to all these environmental factors, desert animals have evolved harmful coping techniques. Discover the 10 most dangerous desert animals by watching further. Many species can survive in desert environments even though it is challenging. However, some of them can be dangerous if you come into contact with them. Number 2. Gila Monster. The Sonora State in northwest Mexico and the southwest United States is home to the deadly Gila Monster species of lizard. It is the only poisonous lizard that is native to the United States, and it is a large, normally slow-moving reptile that can grow to up to 56 centimeters, that is 22 inches long. The 4 beaded lizards, which were all once subspecies of Heloderma horridum, and are its venomous close relatives, are found in Mexico and Guatemala. Because of its slow nature, the Gila Monster rarely poses a serious threat to humans and is not typically hazardous. Nevertheless, even though the species is protected by state law in Arizona, because of its exaggeratedly terrifying reputation, it has occasionally been murdered. Similar to bearded lizards from further south, the head, back, and tail scales contain tiny pearl-shaped bones, osteoderms. There are no osteoderms on the belly scales. Before laying their eggs, female Gila monsters go through a complete shed that lasts roughly 2 weeks. Frequently, the dorsal portion sheds in one hefty chunk. In August, adult males typically shed their hair in similar and smaller chunks. The young appear to be constantly losing skin. Adults typically have a black surface with hues ranging from yellow to pink. Hatchlings have a standardized, uncomplicated, and less vibrant pattern. Within the first 6 months of their existence, this substantially alters hatchlings from their species' northernmost range tend to keep the majority of their juvenile pattern. Males frequently have larger, more triangular-shaped heads than females. The two genders' tails' lengths are statistically quite smaller, making it difficult to distinguish between the genders. Individuals with strong tail ends can be seen in both the wild and human breeding situations. Number 3. Scorpions. The predatory arachnids in the order Scorpions are called scorpions. They have 8 legs and may be identified by their pair of gripping pincers and their narrow segmented tail, which frequently curves forward over the back and always has a stinger at the end. Scorpions have undergone evolutionary change for 435 million years. Except for Antarctica, they are present on all continents but live primarily in deserts and have evolved into a variety of environmental situations. There are over 22 recognized extant alive families out of over 2,500 identified species. Their taxonomy is being updated to reflect genetic research from the 21st century. All species that have been discovered give birth to live infants, and the female takes care of them as their exoskeletons harden while carrying them on her back. Under UV light, the exoskeleton glows due to the fluorescent compounds it contains. Most species do not pose a substantial threat to people, and healthy individuals typically do not require medical attention following a sting. Only 25 species less than 1% contain venom that can kill a human, and this regularly occurs in the regions of the world where they are found, especially where access to medical care is limited. Scorpions are depicted in mythology, folklore, commercial branding, and visual arts to avoid being stung. Gila carpets have themes of scorpions. The constellation Scorpius is named after the astrological sign Scorpio. A traditional Scorpius story describes how the enormous scorpion and its adversary Orion evolved into constellations on either side of the sky. Number 4. Fire ants. A number of the approximately 200 species of ants in the genus Solenopsis are known as fire ants. The majority of Solenopsis common names such as ginger ants and tropical fire ants refer to stinging ants. To their similar coloration and the fact that they do not belong to the genus Solenopsis, several of the names shared by this genus are frequently used synonymously to refer to the other species of ants, such as the word red ant. Red ants, also known as Myrmica rubra and Pogonomyrmex barbatus, are a frequent word for non-Solenopsis ants. None of these names is used universally for all Solenopsis species or just for Solenopsis species. For instance, due to their similar coloring and painful bites, several waver ant species in the genus Oceophylla are known as fire ants in Southeast Asia, even though the two genera are not closely related. Another unrelated ant, Westmannia auropunctata, is known as the tiny fire ant because of its strong sting. The head, the thorax, and the abdomen, along with 3 pairs of legs and a pair of antennae, are the 3 main body parts of mature fire ants, just like the bodies of all other typical mature insects. The copper-brown head and thorax with a darker abdomen identify fire ants of those species that are invasive in the United States from other ants that are naturally present. The worker ants range in size from 2 to 6 millimeters, and they're blackish to reddish, 0.079 to 0.236 inches. These many and sizes are all present at once in an established nest. Number 5. Ostrich. The infraclass Paleognathai, a complex group of flightless birds commonly known as ratites, and including the Amus, Rheas, and Kiwis, containing big flightless birds of the genus Struthio in order of the Struthionoformes. The common ostrich and the Somali ostrich are the only 2 species of ostrich that exist today. They're indigenous to Africa and are only living land animals to lay the largest eggs. They can run at a speed of 70 kilometers an hour, which is 45.3 miles per hour, making them the quickest birds in the land. They are raised all over the world, especially for their feathers, which are used as dusters and ornaments. Additionally, their skin is utilized to make leather goods. Ostriches are currently exclusively found in the wild in Africa, where they can be found in a variety of open, semi-arid habitats such as savannas in the Sahel, both north and south of the equatorial forest zone. So what do you think about this? Do these animals maintain the ecosystem? And can anyone make them their pet? Well, this brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching it, then do like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful content from us. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.